Hello, Mr. President. My name is Samantha Jaden. I am here to not just tell you my story, but to tell you a serious problem, and I have the solution. And it's in relationship to birth certificate fraud. Mr. President, birth certificate fraud is so prevalent that it contributes to child trafficking. As a matter of fact, you probably know this, but a child goes missing every 40 seconds in the United States. And although 93 to 95% of those children are found, that leaves a gaping hole of up to 60,000 children that go missing permanently every single year. And that number is directly linked to birth certificate fraud. In fact, to date, in the year 2018, Mr. President, 42,000 children have gone permanently missing and have been exploited. The FBI and the CIC reacted to this by creating some programs to try to find these missing and exploited children through their DNA. That program was infused in 2012 by the FBI and the CIC. But Mr. President, every single hour that goes by, at least one child, potentially two children, go permanently missing and are exploited every single hour of every single day in the United States. And it is directly linked to birth certificate fraud. Because you can change a birth certificate and sell a child for sex, labor, or military trafficking. Mr. President, I would like you to stand with me in creating a stronger seal and mandatory DNA to prevent birth certificate fraud. The reason why I'm asking you this, Mr. President, is because I'm a victim of it. I found out that my adoption was completely illegal because my father never relinquished his parental rights. I was sold to a pedophile. My life story inspired an anti-child trafficking bill. I begged the Colorado legislative body to look into adoption trafficking. What happened was they discovered something. They discovered that traffickers were putting children on the internet for adoption, like Craigslist and things like that, but it was a cover-up for a sex trafficking ring. So my story of being illegally adopted to a pedophile inspired the entire awareness of this issue. And now it is considered a child trafficking crime to at random sell a child on the internet for adoption because it's directly linked to sex trafficking. But it doesn't just stop there, Mr. President. I passed a law that opened up 300,000 sealed adoption records in 2014 in Colorado, and I was gifted the pen from Governor Hickenlooper. Upon that discovery, I got not just one birth certificate from Vital Records, not just two, but three. One was my adopted birth certificate, and two were certificates of live birth about my birth. And those birth certificates don't match. I have multiple mothers, multiple dates of birth, times of birth, cities of birth, and even multiple sexes. Who knows, I might even have a twin. I am a living, breathing, walking, talking representation of a person that has been trafficked on American soil, and it is directly linked to birth certificate fraud. Are you going to stand with me and ensure that 60,000 children are saved every single year? Because if you create a stronger seal and DNA and more regulatory processes with birth certificate and stop birth certificate fraud, you will be saving up to 60,000 children every single year. Feel free to talk to me anytime. I've got lots of information for you because birth certificate fraud doesn't just affect child trafficking, it affects illegal immigration, paternity fraud, exploitation of government funds, identity theft, adoption trafficking, so many different issues. And they're all issues up in your alley. I know, Mr. President, that you will support me, and I need your support because it's not just about me and what happened to me. I'm using my story to protect the children. Remember, Mr. President, every single hour, statistically speaking, 1.2 children go permanently missing and are exploited every single hour of every single day from American soil, and is directly linked to birth certificate fraud. Please help me in saving these children by doing something about birth certificate fraud to stop it. Thank you, Mr. President.